Good morning and welcome to this week's Fiberific live craft and chat. It's so good to see everybody here. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. How this chat works is we chat and craft live, really is what it boils down to. So if you've got some craft in your lap, make sure you let me know in the chat. That would be amazing. So much chatting happening for the live stream today. Sally has popped a link over in the Fiberific Fun Zone. We being Sally, puts a link of today's live stream in the Fun Zone. So when we're talking about all the randomness that we talk about, because let's face it, we can't keep on topic. I can't keep on topic. It's very easy for me to go, ooh, shiny thing, and squirrel off to another thing. But how we keep it a little bit tidy over in the Facebook group is by threading out each live stream. So if we're talking about recipes or patterns or whatever, pop the link into today's live stream chat. If you are not a member of the Fiberific Fun Zone, why not? Is my question. It's free. You just have to answer some very tricky questions to get in. Things along the lines of, do you like yarn? So that's more just to keep out, the sunglass sellers and the wig people and all the scary stuff we don't really want in our chat. Okay. Having a look. Angela's in the chat. You've made it live. It's good to see you, Angela. So many people here. Kathy is here. Good morning, Kathy. Bianca has made it. Hey, Bianca. Ruth and Freaky. Hey, Freaky. It's a bit cold for you guys. Crochet with Claire is in the house. Hello, Claire. How you going? Having a look. Kelly. Hey, welcome to the chat. And let's have a look. Yeah, here we go. That's right, Claire. Lindsay Chateau. It has been ages since I've seen you in the chat. It's so good to see you. You're working on a granny square. Nice, nice. Chintamani, another one who I haven't seen for a while. How are you going? I hope you're traveling safely. You're spinning vampire deer from Eggshell. She has some of the craziest, awesomest blends, honestly. Look at all your members. I know everyone in here is so supportive and wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so I don't know why I'm a bit drooly today. No answers for you. I just have to keep like going, ooh, ooh. Now, for clarity's sake, my arms really hurt a lot. I had a really big session with my exercise physiologist who helps me to not fall apart, which is wonderful. And he broke me yesterday afternoon. It was a great workout, don't get me wrong, but I can't straighten this arm. Maybe later, but I can't this morning. So yeah, this is I'm going to try and move to try and keep things from freezing up, but it's not great. Anyway, Claire says, can't believe I've been a member for 16 months. That is, I know it's hard to believe you've all been here for so long. Leanne, good morning to Chantelle and all that are live in the chat. Don't forget, also speaking of live chat, at the top, if you see, what does it say? Top chat, then you can drop down that arrow and then you can get all of the chat messages. So rather than what YouTube thinks is a good idea. Yeah, cold packs I think will be a good idea. I'm gonna switch between cold packs and heat packs. I just can't do it during live stream, so I heat packed, and then but then I can't do anything while I've got heat packs on my elbows. Claire is wondering if anybody else is having problems with the audio not syncing up. I can't hear the audio from YouTube, so let me know. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do right now, but there is one thing I could try. So yeah, well, I'll be honest, what I was lifting was heavier than sacks of flour. Let's go with that. We seem to be a little bit out of sync. All right, let me just see if I can, troubleshoot something. I don't know if I can once I am live, but we can try. Oh, I see what's happened. I was playing with something. Hang on. I was playing with something before the live stream and forgot to change it back. So we'll see if that made a difference for anybody. Let's see. Well, some people says it matches up for them. So the audio is good for them. No issues from Freaky. It's fine. Okay, well, I just did something. We will see. We'll see if it makes any difference whatsoever. That's a bit loose. Artsog is in the house. Hi, Artsog. It's awesome to see you here. It's been a while. Mum says her physio for her knee is a sadist. This is the thing, right? My exercise physiologist is absolutely a treasure. He is a literal gem and he is always checking to make sure I'm okay. Except then he says, you can totally do more than that. Let's do more. So, yeah. It is awesome. It's great, and I'm getting stronger, which is also awesome, but I'm sore today. I do try to make my workouts on like a Tuesday so that I've got Wednesday to cry in a corner, but we could only do Wednesday this week, so today is the cry in the corner day. Kimberly, good to see you in the chat. And Penelope Piard, it's, oh, you usually lurk or watch the replay. It's great to see you jump in. So let me know in the chat what you're working on. I've got some ends to weave in. So we're going to switch down to the other camera angle. And we're going to move that out of the way. Okay. Okay. Let's not push things. Kimberly is working on a hat. That's awesome. Now, technically speaking, I'm still behind on this blanket. But I'm at a point where I've got to double check with the giftee how much longer they want it to be, because while the pattern is a single bed blanket, this is not going on a single bed. This is going in a car. So they may not want a full-size single bed blanket. So I just want to double check before I go and do another sort of, I think I've got 10 more colors to put in. I think that was what my count said. So I just wanted to double check. I'll just move this where it is visible for you. I don't want to, go and make it super big and then be like, oh, it's so big I can't use it for what I wanted to use it for. And they'll complain because it's Abby. Oh, let me help you out. You can call me Penny. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. See, I appreciate that I can walk downstairs without falling. So that is a bonus. That is a bonus. Bianca is working on a Cornish thrift shawl. Sounds amazing. Angela's making a wild oleander hooded scarf for my mum because she's been seeing all the ones I've been making for other people. Awesome. That's awesome. This one's for Abby because she saw I was making a blanket for my dad and was like, why haven't you made me one? And I'm like, I have made you blankets. She's like, but I want that one. Like, okay, fine. Claire's working on eating cold pizza. Go you, Claire. Go you. Kathy is working on the border of Claire's easy mosaic blanket. I'm on the front side of the border. So because you do the back side first, then the front side, don't you? Vampire is in the chat as well, working on a filet dinosaur single bed blanket for my niece's first birthday next month. That sounds so cute. How are you going? Will you get it done, do you think? And Mel is at work. Sorry, Mel. Ruth has popped in a 15-month member sticker. Thank you for your support, Ruth, and for all this time and in all the places. I really do appreciate it. I really do. You guys make it so that those of you that are channel members or Patreon supporters, you make it so I don't freak out when a piece of technology dies, because they do randomly die. They don't last forever. And having to sort of make a decision is a lot easier when I know I have this support and future support from you guys. Sal is working on keeping cool and trying to get rid of a headache. Oh, gosh, I've been hearing about some of your heat wave-ish stuff that's going on, Sally. I hope you can keep cool over there. Knit Spin Girls is knitting squares with my Breed Study hand spun. Max Lawton at the moment. Good luck pronouncing that one. Then Massam next. I thought I did all right. Is it Lofton? It might be Lofton. I have no idea. I am just having a go at the pronunciations. I am very good at killing words. That's what I do. It's welcome to Chantelle's show where she kills all of the words. I'm working on my spring frost blanket. Last week for stripe 5, last stripe for week 5, then I'll weave in the ends before starting the last week's colors. I am still got a couple of week 5 left to go, and week 6 is a smaller week, and then week 7, which was last week, was a break for us to all get our ends woven in. And then I think, I could be wrong, but I think we're supposed to get the border stuff on Friday. Like, it's my Friday night. I don't know what it'll be for you, maybe Friday morning. Hey, Gamer Widows. Hi, Stacey. Working on Tina's mosaic zippered purse. I love mine. Mine is where I keep all my crochet hooks. So, and extra stitch markers and little end stoppers for knitting needles, and, you know, a little ruler and extra pairs of scissors and things. But I love mine. Super handy. And it just used up scraps, which I was just shocked about. Oh, I'd stretch my arm too far. Oh my gosh. Oh, Chopper. Hey, welcome to the chat. The only appropriate streak allowed. Oh, it's good to see you in here, man. And Woot Woot from John. Because the software that I use to bring the comments on does not bring over the members chat comments. So I can't bring them on screen, which really upsets me because I wish I could. They're awesome. People are having tea. Hey, John, welcome to the chat. Ah, well, thank you for that. Now I'm like, how do I say your name? Now I'm never going to say it right again. Now that not intentionally mispronounce it, but think, what have I been saying? I've just always said Angela. I thought. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, you've heard the Max Lawton pronounced so many ways. You have no idea which is correct. Me neither. No idea. The Ember shawl from Expression Fiber Arts. Has that been a nice experience? Expression Fiber Arts has so many different things going on, and I'm always curious. Working on a potluck pullover using leftovers from my advents and socks. So did you name it the potluck pullover because of all the randomness of the yarn, or is that the name of the pattern? Like, it's designed to be, yeah. Wow. Oh, thanks, Chopper. We'll have to catch up again soon. I'm trying to not be such a hermit, and I'm trying to plan some travel into my life so I can go and visit the people that I miss and that I want to see. So, you're on the list, dude. I just got to get there. Good morning, Deb. How are you going? Oh, I had to swap to a different hook. The heat started melting the handle. That just means you need to slow down, right? Isn't that what's happening there? Too much friction, and you've got to slow down. You're crocheting too fast. Talia, welcome to the chat. I'm not quite sure what the big surprise face is for. I'm always here at this time. It shouldn't be surprising. Oh, wait, Vampire said something. Oh, no. Okay, I understand now. Oh, Chopper. Big news. I quit my job and got a new one. Manager of an art studio. Oh, wow. I know you're definitely going to miss the kids at the other one, but I think this one's more you. This sounds awesome. Oh, and $10 more per hour. Yeah. Hello. Gotta love that. Congratulations, Chopper. That is so cool. I am so happy for you. We'll chat. I'll call you after. We'll chat because that's exciting news. Actually, send me a DM because I don't know what your work hours are now. So I don't want to get you in trouble at your new job. Arteg says, cool as a cucumber here in Adelaide if you keep your cucumbers in a lit oven over a lava pit. Love that. Oh my gosh, 40-degree weather and sheep hooks don't mix. Yeah, I can imagine that would not be awesome. Jennifer says, Potluck is the name of the pattern. It's by Victoria. I'm going to say Zakanovic. Sorry, Victoria, for trashing your name. Liz B, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Oh, call me after work. Thank you. That way, we know that no one's going to get in trouble. That is so good. Lots of congratulations in for Chopper as well. We love it when people, like, good things happen to good people. We also love it when, people get their just desserts because I'm vindictive like that. But Chopper's good people, and so it's nice to see good things happening for Chopper. Yeah, 39 for John, but that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So that's a tad on the cool side. Just a tad on the cool side. Dessert. Yeah, dessert's good. Dessert's good. I was so good yesterday. So I had my terrible PT appointment, right? Which, wasn't terrible really. It was very good. I'm just suffering. So all sweaty and gross after a big old workout. Have to stop at the post office because they've been harassing me, like, constant text messages and emails saying there's something in your post box. Come and get it. Come and get it. Do you know what it was? Junk mail that they'd put into my post box. I made a special trip to the post office just for that. Anyway, I shouldn't get the message anymore because I binned the junk. Actually, I didn't bin it. I just pushed it through onto their floor because I felt annoyed. That's really petty of me, I know, but they harassed me with an email and a text message every day for 2 weeks, and it was junk mail that they'd put in there. I'm like, So yeah. But then I had to go and do grocery shopping as well because I was like, if I go home and I get changed, like have a shower and get changed, I'm not going to leave the house again. I'm going to fall down in a puddle, right? So I thought I'll just quickly go to Coles and grab some stuff. So I did. I grabbed what I needed, and I was so good. I did not grab any bad things, and then I wanted bad things for dessert, and there was nothing to have. And then Abby came home from work, and she had bought something I'd never heard of, which I'm sure you've all heard of, but I haven't because I live under a rock, which is it's like fairy floss, but what's the other name for fairy floss? But like cotton candy, that's it. Cotton candy grapes. And I was just like, oh yeah, okay. So what are they, just extra sweet grapes? No, they taste like they taste like grapey cotton candy. I was A, horrified that she'd spent that money on grapes, but she spent her own money, so I don't care. But B, holy crap, totally worth getting even just once just to try it because they are so good. And I had one last night, like a single grape, and I had a single grape this morning, and I'm like, I'm going to go in and legit steal another grape before she gets home from TAFE today because they are really good. And I'm like, Abby, I bought grapes today. And she's like, you didn't buy cotton candy grapes, did you? And I was like, that's a thing? Has anybody else tried cotton candy grapes? Like, did anybody else know cotton candy grapes existed in this reality? Because I did not. Oh, you're spinning some lovely fiber that reminds you of crocuses. That sounds lovely. Now, because we will run out of ends to weave before the end of our live stream today, I do have our mug rug. Language is not mine today, okay, people? Obviously, my brain is not working. The testing mug rug of Claire's Mosaic Crochet, where we're rolling the dice for our random rows of either red or white. Now, I looked at it yesterday and it just doesn't look random at all. It looks totally planned, but we know the truth. We know we've been rolling the dice. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I hate it when Healthy Me does the shopping and then later I want snacks. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. It's horrible. I heard of the grapes, but I'd not bought them. Josephine says she tried the grapes last year and they're nice. I had not heard of cotton candy grapes. Sounds interesting. Angela says, I've heard of the grapes too and just haven't tried them yet. I've not heard of them, so therefore have not tried them. That makes sense. That's very logical. But yeah, I was surprised. John's seen them in the store. Bianca said someone's told her about those. But yeah, I don't know if I'd even heard of them before. Maybe I had. I don't know. I don't know if they're new or not. They're new for me, that's for certain. I made a cake yesterday to thwart Healthy Lisa's poor shopping choices. Oh, I love that. I actually legit have the ingredients for a cake in the cupboard. Always have those ingredients. But I also legit have the ingredients to make not waffles. Actually, I probably have the ingredients for waffles, but to make pancakes with like maple syrup and cream. Like I've got everything. But that involved saw me near heat sources. That's not wise. That's not a wise decision. Oh, Jancy's in disguise. Hey, Jancy, how do they make them taste like that? I have no idea. I know nothing about them. I just ate one. I don't know the answer to that. That would require some Google. Shh. Don't flash your little light at me when I say your name. Now we have to keep an eye out at the door because Abby's expecting a parcel delivery today. So therefore it's Mum's job to make sure she doesn't get carded for it. Good morning, Melissa. Welcome to the chat. How is your spring frost going? My new microwave has a mug cake button. I need to try this. You know, I've tried mug cakes and I'm always disappointed by how, like, I just find that they're always like overly sweet and they end up being quite grainy because the sugar hasn't had time to dissolve. And so I don't like them. So if anyone's got a really great mug cake recipe that doesn't do those things, I would be happy to try it. Absolutely happy to try it. Oh, thank you, Melissa. I'm very happy with the blanket so far. Abby is also happy with the blanket. And I have to wait for her to get home today to finish off of the last few rows because I don't know if she wants them because this is not going on her bed. It's going in her car. So, yeah. Knit spin girls. Yes, when I want snacks, not ingredients. Absolutely. Nice. It's a challenge to never get that card in the letterbox. Nobody wants to take the trip to pick it up. No, I don't. And it's like, I'll go to the post office for one task. There'll be no one there. It'll be fine. The second I need to do, like, to get a parcel, I have to stand in a line for 27,000 years. And it's normally behind somebody who wants to transfer money overseas, but has never done it before. So they don't know what they're doing. And so the person is trying to explain to them that, yes, they do need to fill out every single field, including their address and show ID. And I don't understand why you need ID. I've got the cash to transfer. I've overheard that conversation ridiculous number of times. You've had that button on your microwave, like a new microwave with that button on it for 2 weeks and you haven't tried it yet. Does your microwave book actually have a recipe for a mug cake? It may well do. Danny Kent. Nice. Made it finally. My TV has YouTube Snickers. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, I absolutely know why they want you to have ID for sure. But the people transferring it find that, you know, it is that they just want to transfer money without anybody knowing, I'm sure. Some excellent advice here. I find melting the butter before adding it to the mug cake helps with the sugar problem. I also generally decrease the amount of sugar because I don't like them that sweet. Me too, because they are ridiculously sweet. And then you need something to cut through the sweet. And like the best thing I've found to cut through that kind of sweet is whipped cream, which then makes evil cake of microwave doubly evil, right? Yeah, I'm legit happy when you guys have me on your TVs, and I know that I don't mind this one, but when it's the full face one, because we've got a big TV, and every now and again my husband will throw on one of my videos just to be a butt face. He'll be like, "Oh, look at your giant head." So you know, it's I have that in my head every time. We had our 20th wedding anniversary yesterday. So he made it through another one, which is good. And then he did something dumb yesterday, and Abby was laughing at him, and she's like, "Mum's totally going to divorce you." And I'm like, I'm yelling out from another room because I heard what he did, and I'm like trying not to laugh. And I'm like, all they need is ink. They're in the drawer. I just need to ink them. That's it. And then I hear Abby snickering, and then Tim comes shuffling in. He's like, "No, no, no." I think he thinks I really do have divorce papers hanging out in a drawer somewhere. I mean, that's good, right? But double tasty. It is double tasty. It's not good, but it's double tasty for sure. And thank you for the anniversaries. I really appreciate that. Yeah, 20 years. 20 years. We have friends that we all got married around a similar time, and there's a group of us, and there's only 2 of us left that are still married. When we're like, oh, that's harsh. So, yeah. Oh, I just remembered something. Oh, thank you, Penny. Appreciate that. Kelly Pole, who is one of our moderators, every now and again puts in these little prompts for me, which I love. And the prompt for this week was, why did I start live streaming? And that made me go, because I couldn't remember the exact reason why. Like, I knew that I had tested live streaming on Twitch before I came to YouTube and all this sort of stuff, but I don't remember what made me go, okay, let's go live this time on this YouTube channel and talk about this stuff. So I sat down and I watched a bit of it, and it was a recap of the Bendigo Sheep and Wool show, and I showed my haul. I showed what I picked up and you know, nabbed, and it went well. And it was like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I'm just on the laptop sitting on a couch, and just, you know, it was very, like, the video quality was fine. There was no issues with that, or at least nothing too dramatic. But it was just really low key and chill, sitting back, relaxed. And then I think I decided to take it to like a next level. But it was definitely to talk about Bendigo and about what I got up to there. And it was a bit of a recap, because back then I couldn't live stream from Bendigo to YouTube because you had to have a certain number of subscribers before you could live stream. You had to have 1,000 subscribers before you could mobile live stream. Luckily, that's not the case anymore. So any of those new aspiring YouTubers only need 50 subscribers to live stream through the YouTube app, and 0 if you use something like StreamYard or another video encoder. But yeah, it's definitely it was kind of cool. And I'm like looking at my hairstyle and I'm like, man, I like that red. I need that red again. So it was definitely one of those sort of, it was a really nice walk down memory lane, I have to say. But yeah, I was just chatting about what I got up to at Bendigo, and because I couldn't do it live there, it made it sort of like a recap from me being away. Amelia has a mud cake recipe. Yes, please pop it in. Pop it in and oh no, we're talking mug cakes. But yes, a mud cake recipe is still good. Mug cakes are these ones that you mix all the ingredients in a coffee cup and throw it in the microwave. So like this, I decided not to marry Vampire. That means she can just walk out the door, right? Though, dude, you've got to know that. Also, if you'd like to share how we have all found Chantelle, I'm sure she'd love to hear from us. Yeah, that would be super interesting, because I know so many of you have found me from different things. Wow. Oh, Francis, I hope that went well. That's not my favorite place in the world, let me tell you. Angela found me through It's Crochet O'Clock. I was chatting with Stephanie yesterday. So that's cool. And then Crochet with Claire introduced Leanne. So that is amazing as well. Danny met me. Oops, come back here, you. Danny met me at Bendigo, which opened a rabbit hole. Yeah, absolutely. You missed all the things, Claire. Claire says, I have no idea how I met Chantelle. You know what? I don't know how we met the first time either. I know the first time we met face to face was at a Bendigo. Was it at a Bendigo or was that Deanne? I think it was at a Bendigo, but we met online and then ended up in Zoom rooms together. I don't even know how it happened. Amelia found me from the Big Wool Show. Penelope's from Claire's channel. Lindsay was also through Crochet O'Clock, who I found through Pip and Poppycock. Oh my gosh, that is because I found Stephanie and then went through Pip and then went Pip and Poppycock that way. Because Stephanie used to join my live, like come in and she would be in my live chats. I still remember Stephanie winning one of the prizes that I used to do many years ago before I learned how much YouTube hate that, and sending her some yarn and the Tim Tams. And seriously, it was like, oh, yarn, poof, Tim Tams. It was so good. It was such a good video. Let me have I'm just having, wow, this is crazy. I'm just reading the chat here. Ruth found me from Crochet O'Clock. Lisby from Gimpy Spinners. It's your fault. I've got so much spinning stuff now. You can't blame me. You can't blame me for that. I mean, no, you can't. I do remember us all like, we're going to get one of these e-spinners each. I remember that conversation. Josephine and I met at a craft show. I was selling stuff. That's right. Kelly found me because she was looking for knitting needle reviews. Come on, bring it up. There we go. Kathy was from Stephanie as well. So It's Crochet O'Clock. Claire's never been to Bendigo. Maybe it was Stephanie. I don't know. Francis Sarah, I saw an ad for the Big Wool Show on Facebook the first year we were in lockdown. Gosh. John says, I found Chantelle and It's Crochet O'Clock independently and then realized they were friends. Yeah. Game Widow says, I think it was one of your support spindle videos or the one where you took the scissors to my t-shirt. I still have that shirt. I still wear it. I don't like I don't like the crew neck shirts that come right. Like this is a bit more of a scoop neck. and I don't like the crew necks. And I had this amazing Spider-Man t-shirt that I just loved, but it was like a little snug on my neck for my taste. So I did. I made a video about how to adjust your crew necks. And I maybe was a little zealous with like, yeah, let's just cut that bit off. And then I actually crocheted an edge around it. And then I cut up the sides and did like webbing, crochet chaining up the sides of it. And yeah, it was fun. It's still on the channel. You can check it out, but that was fun. But that video that I had no test run. So I was recording it and then going, oh crap. Oh crap. I just like there was a point where I had to pause it because I'd just done the big cut and I'm like, oh my God, I've just wrecked my Spider-Man shirt that I love so much. Yeah, it was funny. Knitspin Girl says, I think it was at Mapleton. It possibly was. Talia says, I don't remember. It could have been Claire, but it also could have been the algorithm. Possibly. Because it's one of those things. The algorithm's like, well, you like this crochet video, and other people who liked this crochet video also liked these ones. I'm not sure how I found Chantelle. Was it through Steph? I met you, I think, at Caffeinated Crafters. I think so. It could have been Pippin. It could have been Pippin or Steph. Holly was through Claire. I really don't remember. I think it was through Claire when you were doing a test live with her on Facebook, possibly. Deb says, I met you for the first time at a craft show. And yeah, because like Leanne is a member of some groups, like some actual in-person groups, so she probably brought some people. Artsog says that I've no idea where Vampire found you, but she put you on the TV enough times that I started watching. Dolores says, I think I bought needles through Fiberfic and then recognized your channel name, so I had to have a peek. I like that. I mean, that doesn't, like, I'm reading this and it was like, it was you. It sounds very accusatory. Like, it's your fault I'm stuck here now. Oh, that's so funny. No, I know that's probably not how you wrote it at all. Leanne encouraged me to get to know you. Oh, Leanne and Deb. You found me from your Chow-Goo reviews. You showed me I can spin in a wheelchair. Yeah, absolutely. I got busted knees. I've got backup plans when my knees no longer work. There are things I don't want to give up. Oh, I met you through Mean Mother's Yarn Store telling me that you had Chow-Goos and you came to pick them up. I remember that. Chintami, and I remember this as well, the Big Stitches and Crafts show. Oh no. And then at Queensland Spinners Open Day back in 2016. So this, why are you all blaming me? You should be thanking me. Oh my gosh. Freaky was looking for sock tutorials. That is weird. Gabby says that she found Crochet Clock that led me to Chantelle, which has then led me to Claire. Oh, wow. It's probably the Big Wool Show. I don't remember, but it was probably Claire. Sorry, Big Wool Show from Jancy. Kerry says, I don't remember, but I regret nothing. that's that. I could just basically, that's the theme for my life. I don't remember, but I don't regret it. Yes, you are stuck with this now, Melissa. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, that could have been it, Claire. I purchased something via your website, then I must have stalked you. It sounds so awesome. Like, oh yeah, I did this one thing and then found you everywhere on the internet. Because that's exactly what I do. I find something, go, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Where else can I follow this person? What other content do they have? You know, oh, look, they have a shop. I'm going to buy things. Oh my gosh. I'm so far behind in the chat. I'm sorry. I found you through Stephanie. That is amazing. Stacy says I think it was the rainbow sock knit along, and I met you at Redlands. The sock knit along was so fun. It really was so much fun. Did I tell you all I made a terrible, terrible mistake with my socks? As in, I thought that I had woven in the ends as you go on both socks, except on one sock I hadn't, because I decided to show that tutorial and did that on the second sock. But the first sock was all done, but I still needed to go back and weave in the ends. And then because I assumed I'd weave the ends in, I trimmed them all. And when I pulled the sock on, the sock fell apart. Did I mention that to anybody? That horrifying. So I have one rainbow sock that I was using for displays because the other one is dead. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not stuck, but it's your fault for starting the channel and sharing good content. Oh, that's cute. Stuart says this morning before you have a Chantelle live today, right? Oh. Gamer Widow's been blaming you for things for years. Not going to stop now. Oh. Oh, you could be watching Critical Role right now, but no, I'm stuck here. Oh, man. I started watching Critical Role back in 2016 when it first started airing on the Geek and Sundry Twitch channel. And I love that show so much. And I am so happy that they've got an Amazon show now. It's so exciting for them. My addiction to Chalgu needles is your fault. I'm not sorry about that. I'm sorry I'm not stocking them anymore because I went to make something the other day and realized I don't have it. I don't have the needle I needed. I'm going to have to order it from someone. Angela says, I'm grateful for you all when I need friends. Angela, I'm grateful for everybody here as well. If I ever need a lift, I know, hit the fun zone. People are going to be sharing awesome stuff. They're going to be talking about things that make them happy. So I am in there. So, Talia, I don't know how to take that. Start watching Chantelle and you'll never have money for bad things. Oh my gosh. Kelly says, I met you for the first time at a craft live event in Logan. I was fangirling so hard. Oh, I think I went just to I was there just to support someone else. I don't think I've actually ever had a stall at Craft Alive at Logan, but I think, was that the first year that the Crochet Guild was there and they had a stall? I think that might have been that day. I'm not sure. Oh, the rainbow socks. Emma, Sherry and I all got those kits when you had a remake of them a few years ago. We have yet to make those socks. And Lindsay, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was you or Emma. It might have been both. I remember shipping 2 blanket kits of the hand-dyed yarn kits for the Charlotte's Dream blanket. And I think that one was for you as well. Off the top of my head, I could be wrong. But yeah. Don't talk to me about knitted socks. Oh my gosh. Join us and thrive. Yes. Oh my gosh. Pat Jacobs is in the chat. Hello. I met you through Stephanie. She was talking about yarn dyeing and recommended your channel. Oh, that is awesome. Oh no. I think this is the no is where I did the cutting of this is how far behind in the chat I am. Oh my gosh. Where are we? How about the Fiberific lingo we all use now? Oh my god. Yeah, Leanne uses butt face a lot now. Oh my gosh, she really does. That's gold. Take it as a good thing, a YouTube friendly worded good thing. I will. Coffee Angel Crafts, welcome to the chat. It's nice to see you here. I just barely stumbled upon you. I had to subscribe, liking your presentation. Thank you. Lisby says, I added a couple of rows of light reactive yarn to my rainbow sock kit. It is awesome. Oh my gosh. Do you know, I still haven't been able to do any dyeing. What happened then? Was that supposed? Oh, no, that's all right. It was that was a weaving in end thing. I thought a stitch had come undone. It's all good. Oh, it's bucketing with rain. I nearly had a heart attack then. I thought I'd pulled out a row. but yeah, the sock kits are amazing. But I was looking because I've still got a lot of my yarn dyeing stuff, and I had to go to the doctor's on the weekend because my asthma was playing up, and I was like, I feel sorry for myself when my asthma's playing up. I get all gloomy. It's like, I can't breathe, so I'm going to get sad, where I, get extra emotional and therefore can't breathe even better. Like the logic behind that is awesome. Anyway, and it was just like, oh yeah, and stupid asthma's made it so I can't even do the thing I loved most in the world, which was dyeing yarn. And you go through those, like, is it please tell me it's not just me. You go through those moments where everything's just bad. Everything's bad and it's all stupid asthma's fault. Which it's not. But well, I mean, it's asthma's fault that I couldn't do dyeing anymore, but not everything's asthma's fault. Get out of the way, thread. But yeah, so I definitely miss dyeing, and I can't wait until I'm given the all clear to at least dye something for myself. Like I'll never be able to commercially dye again, but man, I would love to just dye something for myself. I've kept everything just in case. Crochet with Claire says, did anyone see the beautiful yarn that she unboxed yesterday on her live? It was so nice that I may have put in an order. May have ordered yarn. Shh, don't tell anybody. So I'm retired and the majority of my friends are retired and moved to where it was warmer. I was so happy to find your live for one day. I have found a friend that I can see and talk to. Oh, Kathy, that is awesome. I'm glad you can come in and hang out with us. Leanne says that was it. It was the conference launch that we went the year before as well. From memory, we went 2 years. We did. Yeah. Lindsay said not the Charlotte for her. It was fabulous. It was amazing. It was 15 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. It was insane, but it was also amazing. Kathy says, I found many friends in this group. Yeah, and I love that everyone's making friends with each other, and I think that's super special. I like that a lot. Oh, yeah. I've also ordered Let the Stalking Begin. Yeah. Sandy said I ordered some as well. Yep. I can't breathe, so I get sad. Very understated. I get more panicked than sad. I get, like, it depends on the level of can't breathing. If I'm to the point where I need to go to hospital and be put on an oxygen machine, I get panicked. And it's a thing. It's a throwback from when I was a kid. No matter what, if the second they put a mask on, I start crying. But this was just like the super tightness of chest, and it was just like, oh, woe is me kind of things. But yeah, it's I'm okay now. I got everything sorted out. So what did I buy? I don't want to say. I bought one of every color of the Dirty DK, but two of there was a neutral, and I bought two of the neutral. I bought every color of the Aaron and Eve, and again, two of the neutral. Then I bought two colors in the blend, whatever that's called, and two colors in the cotton because I wanted to play with them. So I bought a lot. So when I get it, when it arrives, I will most definitely do a debagging. Because it comes in I think it should come in a bag, so I will debag it on the chat. Yeah. Hey Gloria, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you here. Sandy got some cotton and acrylic. I'm just catching up. Claire says I've gained lots of friends from this group. Yeah, it's an amazing group of people. I love it. Crochet with Claire, we need merch. Yeah. And Claire has an excellent question. So you need to let Claire know what kind of merch does she want, because we've got merch here at Fiberific. We've got totes and zipper pouches and coffee cups and all sorts of stuff. Links are in the description if you want to check it out. But yeah, you need to let Claire know what she needs to make. Lisby says, this group helped keep me motivated, helped me through the last 2 years, keeping me motivated while on bed rest. And I'm glad we could be here for that as well, because it's horrible when you've got restrictions and your only social is the internet. And then, you know, a lot of people aren't around when you are at the time where you need them. They're at work or they're doing something or whatever. And I'm just glad that we were able to be here for you for that. Can someone put in a link? Okay, so can one of the mods, which you may have already done it, but I just haven't seen it. Can someone pop in? I actually signed up to Katie's affiliate program. Oh, Katie's in the chat. I just spotted it because I'm so far behind. Katie's in the chat here today. And Katie has her own channel, which is also amazing. So you guys should go and check that out. If someone can pop in one of the mods, you've got my affiliate link. If you can throw that in, that would be great. Because I signed up. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to wait until I touch the yarn based on Claire's face. After that, I'm going to skip through part of the chat just because I'm missing stuff now that's happening. I just want to, I can always come back. Katie's here to hijack another live. Go for it, Katie. We're here for hijacking. We do it all the time. Gabby says you can never have too much yarn. Don't feel guilty. I don't feel guilty about having the yarn. I had just bought a pile of yarn. And so it's just like, I now have bought more on yarn this year for myself than I have done in the last 3 years for myself. I did that math. I shouldn't have done the math. Let me have a look. Giant coffee mugs. I've actually got an order coming from StreamYard. So StreamYard is the software that I use to run these live streams, and which I love it. And they have a giant coffee cup, and I've got one of theirs coming. But yeah, I don't think my merch mob do a giant coffee cup. Oh, yeah. Katie is maker. That's exactly right. Sal's popped in a link for the Fiberific merch. Thank you. Thank you, Sal, for dropping the maker link. And Leanne's dropped the maker link. Yeah, Melissa said this has been my motto for years. Do I really need it? Do I really need it? And this year I'm just like, yep, give it to me. Freaky Geek finally worked out why we call these pouches humbugs. So yeah, so they're from Gamer Widows, who is here in the chat as well. Love my humbugs. You guys have heard me talk. Kathy's wondering if Katie has any yarn left, which is a legitimate question based on how many of us hit that store yesterday. Yeah, those bags look amazing. Katie's bags look insane. I've been drooling at them. Let's have a look. Yeah, don't let my husband says the same. He's just like, do you really need more yarn? Don't you have stuff in storage? What he doesn't realize is all that's in storage is fiber. There's no yarn in storage. Because I was like, when I want to make something, I need it right here. So yeah, so he thinks that some of the crates that I have in storage have yarn. He has no concept of how much fiber I actually have. Because we've just found out we have to empty our storage unit because they have doubled the rent on it. So we were like, nope, not like we don't have a ton of stuff in it. So we were like, you know what, let's just empty it. And I'm like, oh, that's like 10 crates back in the house plus all the Christmas stuff and the Lego. So I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this idea. It's going to be right in my face. Actually, what I'm probably going to do is have like a fiber garage sale and just sell some of it because I am not going to get to it all. If I could type, yes. Now, for those of you that weren't in Claire's live yesterday, Maker does ship internationally. So if you do want to check out her gorgeous yarns, you totally can. And to remember, her website is in Australian dollars, which is in the toilet right now. So if you buy any of her yarn and you are not Australian, well, if you're in the US, we think we worked out that Canada is about the same, but if you're in the US or the UK, the maker yarns work out to be exceptionally good value, even adding international post. So yeah. But Kate said that she's shipping my order today, so fingers crossed I might even have it by next week's live stream, depending on what Australia Post do, because sometimes they're buttocks and sometimes they're not. So if we get butt heads this week, then we won't get it, and it'll be the week after. But otherwise, we might get it. We'll just have to, everyone has to cross your fingers for me. And if it arrives, I will do a big debagging episode of the live stream where we will drag out a hook and everything and have a go with all the different yarns and have a look at the stitch definitions and all the stuff. Okay. That is all those ends woven in on that one for now. Until we find out if it's big enough. We need the car here, and Abby's not home. So she is at TAFE today. So now this is not I have a little pin here, it's just a little clover quick lock. Just because I kept joining the yarn on the wrong end. And so now I make sure I at least touch it before I start an end. So yeah. Alrighty. Now let's move this guy. Oh, don't stretch your arm too far. Okay. Next, we have our little project that we have going on. Upside down, Miss Jane. All right, we are actually up to a dice roll. Oh, and those of you that don't know, I keep one of these little pouches with each of my projects. So right here on the table right now, there were 3 projects. So I have this one that's for the Spring Frost cowl. This one that's it's all little teapots and cakes. That's for this blanket. And then I have, whoops, it's attached. And then this one here, which I've let it get a bit crunchy. I probably should give it a press. This one here has got what I need for my knitted cowl, the Listato cowl that we've been working on. Let me have a look in the chat here. Angela says I got rid of most of my stash in 2019. Long story, but now I have another huge stash again. I really need to go on a no-buy for a bit. Yeah. Those colors are so pretty. They really are. I'm assuming you mean the colors on Maker's website, because they are. They're very pretty. John just said I've bought a bunch of silver and gold. Now I'm looking at yarn. Oh, here we go. Sal has a question for Katie if she's still in the chat. Out of your range of the yarns that you have, which is your favorite to work with? So your personal favorite. Oh, Lisby, you're talking about the colors in my blanket. Okay, cool. They're beautiful colors. I love them. Okay, game time. Roll the dice. You're right. Let's stop. It's a 5, so it's another white one. So we've got to get a 6 to do a red one. And did I mention I have terrible luck with dice games and things and the like? So the chances of me actually ever rolling a 6 are quite low. We might have to make it like a 6 and something else to give me a better chance at actually ever getting another red stripe in ever again. But it looks like it was because we did that one. And then we started the dice rolling, because I was just going to randomly choose it. And then last week we were discussing ways to actually get true randomness was a dice rather than, just having a guess. I'm loving the dice roll for your red row. Yeah. Thank you. This is the link. That's a link there for this blanket that I'm working on. So this is one of Claire's projects. It's her mosaic throw, and I'm just having a little test run with it, because I wanted to see how the colors look before I committed to a full size blanket, and I'm quite happy with it, truth be told. And having the dice throw makes it a little bit more fun for the random stripes of red. If they, I mean, it's a bit more random now. It did look like it was 3 white, 1 red, 3 white, 1 red. Oh, actually, I know because we've got the 4th white now. Katie's answer to Sal. It depends on what I'm making. They all have their own purpose. I've probably used Dirty DK and a blend moment most so far. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like when I was putting my order in yesterday, I was like, I really want to try a bit of everything, but I also wanted some blanket quantities for some stuff. And so that's why I placed my order how I placed it, because I wanted to try all of the things, because I couldn't choose. Just couldn't choose. It was too hard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't wait to try the Aaron and Eve. Yeah, it looks nice. I reckon it'll make like a super squishy blanket, honestly. That's why I bought like it's a I would say throw rug quantity. Although, what is it? It's 200-gram balls, and I've got like a zillion of them. So I think I've got like 9, maybe 8 or 9 balls. So that's a blanket quantity, right? Freaky says, I thought at first that you rolled an odd number, it would be red and white for even numbers, but then you just, yeah, we were tossing up last week whether or not to make it prime numbers on like a 20-sided die. Oh, I forgot to dig my dice out. I'm a donkey. But yeah, but then we decided just to give it a trial with a 6-sided and just choose one color, one number. But we may end up having to increase it because there's a good possibility we're not going to get another red ever again. The Aaron and Eve is literally perfect blanket yarn. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving that one a try. So everyone who is a regular here, they know my favorite acrylic yarn for blankets is hands down Knit Picks Brava, right? And I really would love to find something that I like just as much, maybe differently, but just as much, that I don't have to order in from overseas, that I can get from someone local, support an Australian business, or and even if you're not going to think of it like let's support an Australian business, you're supporting a small business, not a corporate conglomerate like Knit Picks is. Like, I love Knit Picks, don't get me wrong, but and I love, some of the things that they do, but they're not like, the money that we pay Knit Picks isn't like with small businesses. It's like the money that you pay could be sending someone's kid to like, dance lessons, or paying a mortgage, or like that's how I think. I definitely prefer supporting small businesses if I can. There are 4 prime number Penny's coming in with the maths. Thanks, Penny, because my brain and maths don't work. There are 4 prime numbers on a die and 2 composite numbers. Maybe you could use the 4 and the 6 as your red rows. I really like that idea. Now, I do have to check with everybody if we're happy to make it that we're going with the composite numbers on a 6-sided die. I am more than happy to add in the 4 as well as the 6, because we haven't rolled a 4, I don't think. I'd have to rewatch the replay. But I don't think we've rolled a 4 yet, so I don't even think that it would be invalidating from last week's. Well, I mean, dog food, man. Dog food is not cheap. I have little Louie here, and between grooming and dog food and vet bills, I need a second job. So, oh yeah, Danny's doing it both ways. She's using the Knit Picks needles, but buys them from her local store. That's awesome. I like that too. There's a YouTube educator that I love, and his big joke is, like he's got 2 really hungry poodles to feed. So I love that. That's pretty cool. Oh dear. Okay. My arms really hurt. I didn't realize how much crocheting would hurt them. Apparently it does quite a lot. Quite a lot. All righty. So I'm assuming you're all off scoping out the Maker website, because that's what I did yesterday when I was supposed to be doing something else, but I had it in another tab because I had to look. I had to look at the amazing colors. So next week, well, hopefully next week, depending on postage and all that kind of stuff, I will have pretties for you to look at. I did, yeah. I did order a blend moment, yeah. I picked 2 colors. So I would like for a blend moment and the cotton, I just grabbed 2 colors and I tried to make them sort of contrasty so that I could work a 2-color project with them. We have Caffeinated Crafters is next week. Is that right? Let me just double check the calendar. Oops. Ugh. Hang on a second. I'm just double checking the calendar for dates. Calendar is what I want. Gosh, Chantelle, get a grip. So yeah, next Thursday is the first Thursday of the month. So yeah, if I have it here, I will bring it, and then you can have a pat and see if you like it. Melissa says, do I need more yarn? This is the wrong room to ask that question in, Melissa, because it is the wrong room. We're all going to say yes. We're all going to say yes. Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head which of the colors I ordered in the cotton and the blend, but the DK, the dirty DK, and the Ash and no, why do I keep thinking Ash and Aaron? It's Aaron and Eve. I bought all the colors that are currently available, and I'm hoping that there'll be more colors available soon because I'm greedy. And I can't speak, words failing me. I'll have a sip of my water. Kate, if I have a say in any colors, pretty please, could we have some grays in the acrylics? Because I love gray, and I like to do like a blanket that's like got bright colors, and then I like to make all the joining and the edging or whatever in grays if I can, to make the colors really pop. But yeah, that would be my one request, is more gray. I ordered the gray in was it the blend? I think it was the blend that has a gray. I ordered that gray because it was gray and I had to have it, because it was gray and I have to have it. Okay, so we're rolling the dice. Now, before I roll the dice, I just need to ask the question, is everybody okay if we change this into composite? So if we roll a 4 or a 6, we get to have a red row. Is like, just write yes or no in the chat if we can have a 4 or a 6 to get a red row before I roll the dice, because we are up to another dice roll color. We've got 2 yeses. Katie's noted. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate that. Yes to the change. Yes. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Appreciated. All right, let's roll this dice. Oh, hang on. There's a message from Katie. I will. Oh, here we go. Before I roll the dice. It's hard to know what colors will be popular. I know what I like, but that doesn't mean everyone likes the same colors as me. So I'm always open to color suggestions. In the chat, how do you feel about grays or with your colors? So because like, I know I like gray. I know not everybody does like gray. Some people like white, some people like creams, but I'm a grub. And so every time I work with white, I'm like, man, this is not going to wash well. It's gonna die. Okay. Talia's in Team Grey. Nice greys and greens are hard to find from Gamer Widows. Holly likes greys. Greys are awesome, easier to work with than black or white. Yep, agree. That's why I go with greys. And I like all different shades of grey. Like I like a nice dark grey, but sometimes a good medium grey is what I'm after. And I use light greys on a lot of my crochet projects. I love any greys. Love greys from Danny. Favorite color is purple, white, black, and grey. Chintami loves a storm grey. Yeah, me too. That's you know what? That's probably the first color I'm going to dye for myself when I am back into like dyeing yarn for myself is some greys. Have kids use grey. Sandy says, love greys, best neutral color for boys and girls. Artist said greys are good. Freaky likes black, blues, and browns. Francis says greys are good. Penny says greys are great. Vampire says grey or navy are my go-to for borders and joinings. There you go. So a little bit of you know, ideas. We're not your whole target audience, but we like grey. So and I think some grey, some of like the darker grey would look amazing with the colors you already have. They would really like pop out. But that's my opinion. All right. So do you guys want to have like, are we rolling a 4 or a 6 or like what number do you think I'm going to roll? So pop that in the chat. I will not put my elbow on the table while I do that again because that was just shaking the crap out of everything. See, Claire, my table wobbles just as much as yours. It's just quiet about it. I've got an IKEA standing desk, and I love my IKEA standing desk, except for one thing. And I found out it's an issue with every brand of standing desk that does a center pole, like the 2 center poles. And that is, they don't, unless they're at their lowest level, which is coffee table height, they don't go great. Okay, 4s and 3s seem to be the way we're going. All right, I'm going to roll. It's a 3, so it's still white. Goodness me. Goodness me. Francis says, I like grey, but if I only have $50 to spend, I'll get red, orange, purples, yellows, and even greens before I look at the grey. See, for me, it comes down to I tend to use grey to make all the other colors pop. Is it? I don't normally make. Oh, I say I don't normally, make grey to wear. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I like grey that much. Much to Melissa's disdain, grey is probably my favorite color to wear. Grey and black. I looked at wearing a different color today and then went, no, I need a shirt that is not going to be annoying on my arm. So I went with a tried and trusted shirt. I wanted 3 as your second. I wanted 3 as your second red color as half of 6. Oh, okay. See, I'm going with the composite numbers, so 4 and 6. Yeah, I like grey as a neutral. I think it's a solid neutral. And being able to have so many options, like you can have it light or dark. So depending on what you want to do. So those of you that are following along the adventures of the everlasting blanket, the crocheted blanket that I'm doing, the fusion blanket, I'm using a really pale grey to stitch that together. And that's looking lovely. It's so nice. Yeah. But I tend to like like the grey that you've got for the blend. I like that grey a lot. Yeah, that's probably up there with my favorite greys. But like a half strength of that would be nice too. Danny says I have grey black sheep this month. And yeah, you can do greys in warms or cools. So you can do them with brown undertones or with the green undertones. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, Game Widows is off. Have fun. Abby went today in her scrubs because they are spending the day in the chook pen at TAFE. So TAFE is like a technical school in Australia, and it's my daughter's studying to be a vet nurse. And so I said to her, you know, why don't you just wear, like, everyone's going to be wearing like daggy old clothes. She's like, Mum, I would prefer to get this junk on my scrubs than on any of my clothes. And I was like, feckle. Just how many more? We've still got quite a ways to. I'm not sure. A square of this is going to be quite enormous, really. I made it quite wide. I probably should have narrowed it in. But I have a couch that has a flat armrest, and I quite often just stick my coffee cup on the end of it. But my couch is beige, so I'm thinking this will just sit just over the edge of the couch, just nicely to protect it from my coffee cup. So, yeah. We'll add a few more rows. And then we have to add a border as well. What am I doing here? It is join. Then okay. Alrighty. Do you have your mosaic purse there by any chance? Do you mean this one right here? Is that what you're talking about? Just let me know. Making a Tunisian blanket for one of my kids. I need a 70-inch long Tunisian hook. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're using an interchangeable Tunisian hook set, then you can just join on some extra cables. But if you're not, you'll either need to make it in pieces and stitch it together, or you will need to source yourself an incredibly long one. Can I see the top, please? The top of mine is very bad. I'm not good at the hand sewing thing. But here we go. I'll just hold this up for Melissa. Is there anything in particular about the top you needed to see? I'm like, mine's gone a bit, see how it's a bit wibbly like that? It's because I did a terrible job of the hand stitching. Okay. And I didn't understand the importance of not making it too tight. But I will know for my second one when I get around to making a second one. And it puckers the zip a little. So, but I'm, you know, it could be hard. I get my zipper hardware from Dreamy Bag Hardware in WA. So I get all my cool little bits and bobs. Any tips with the hand stitching? I am not the person to ask. Just keep rewatching Tina's video. She has a video on YouTube showing exactly how to do it. Just keep rewatching it. Did you line it? No, I did not line it. And so therefore, every now and again, one of my fine hooks will poke me. They'll stab me, but I didn't line it. Yeah, but I get most of my hardware from Dreamy Bag Hardware, and there's another one. I'll grab the links and drop them in on this chat in the fun zone. But I've got a couple, and they're all Australian that I use for all my zipper and bag hardware that I use. So I usually like, because these ones are the metal T zippers. I don't like to use them when I'm sewing my bags. So this was perfect, having so many of these to make these pouches with, because you hand stitch them. Yeah. Katie's off. I need to go and do some work and pack your order. Can't wait to see you next live. Have a fabulous day. Hope you have an awesome day and keep cool, Kate. I know it's hard work packing orders. So thank you for that. let me keep crocheting here. I am just over crafting, seeing I have been sitting for so long. I'm looking for little projects, so thought I would start that. I'll be honest with you, Melissa, that stitching onto the zipper bit is the absolute hardest part of this entire project. So grit your teeth, get through that bit, and the rest of it is a dream, honestly. It just comes up so quickly. That would be my one piece of advice. So it and hand sewing for me is not a strength, so I really struggled with the zip bit. But once I got through that, I tried to stretch that arm out again. Don't do that. It's not bending past this level of bend. It doesn't want to just straighten out just that little bit more. Artsock is off to make more coffee. Yawning like a portal in Waterdeep. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's oh dear. Oh dear. After tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm going to sit down and watch the next Picard episode. The first one I really thoroughly enjoyed. Oh, what have I done here? Oh, I can't count. That's the problem. Oh, look, Chantelle can't count again. That's awesome. Got a double espresso iced coffee because the singles were all past date. Yeah, sometimes that happens. And now you're like jubba, 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 bouncing off the walls because you've had more coffee than you usually do. I've had 2 coffees this morning. I'm just sitting here thinking about, did I have 2 or 3? No, definitely had 2. But yeah, it's I'm like, what am I gonna have for lunch today? That's my big question. I'm getting hungry because I've just looked at the time and it's okay for me to be starting to get hungry. And I was like, what? I was just sitting here thinking, like, what am I going to eat for lunch? I haven't got anything sorted. I didn't plan anything. This Smart Girl Healthy Shop, like, didn't actually have any meals in mind. There's just some really nice looking fruit and veggie that was not expensive. So I'm like, I'll have that and I'll have that. And then last night we were originally, because it was our anniversary, we were going to be going out for dinner. But Tim's work at the moment is just mental and he's got like a deadline. And I was on my way home after doing the little shop and my arms were already starting to be big whingy babies. And so I've rung Tim and I'm like, hey, look, I know things are really crazy busy at work at the moment. So if you want to cancel tonight, that is totally cool with me so that you can just focus on this and get it done. And we can totally do it another time when you're less busy. And he was like, oh, I don't want this stupid project to, well, he didn't say stupid, this project to get in the way of doing the things that, are important to us and blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'm just going to throw this out there. Also, I've just come home from my exercise physiologist and my arms aren't currently talking to me. And he's just like laughed and he was like, okay, all right. So last night for dinner, I made what I call our spicy soup, which is a good quality vegetable stock. So in a pan, I put a single spray, like in a pot, a single spray of oil. And then I put in chili, add like dried chili and Chinese 5 spice and garlic and let that just sort of warm over so that you can smell it. And then I add in a 1 liter of really good quality vegetable stock because it's basically, that's it. And then once that started heating up, I toss into that like a packet of pot stickers or a handful of mini dim sims each. And then so that takes about 5 more minutes after that. Once I put in the frozen, whatever they're called, it's like Asian pastries. I don't know. What are they called? Do they have a generic name? And then while that's happening, I slice up like a bok choy each into like small, like mouthful size pieces, put them into a bowl, and then I hit a carrot with the vegetable shredder, so it's really thin and fine, some mushrooms, some capsicum if I've got it. It's like whatever vegetables are in the fridge. And then I pour the hot broth over that with the dumplings, and it's just really yummy, and it's got a bit of a zing to it, and it's really tasty, super healthy. And we had that for tea last night. So today I'm hungry and I want some food. I can't just do a salad for lunch because I'll get in trouble from my dietitian. Salad is not a meal, apparently. It has no protein. And the thing that, I mean, Danny's probably hasn't been here, but since I started my dietitian, I've had to double my food and triple my protein because my metabolism stopped. So she's basically, if it doesn't have protein in it, it's not a meal, is basically her way to help me prepare meals that will actually help me. Okay, we are up to a roll again. So what I will tend to do is if I'm having a salad, I will add in edamame and also a tin of tuna, because apparently one little tin of tuna is not a portion of protein. I need 2, and I physically cannot eat 2 tins of tuna. It will make me sick. So that's just too much food. So 1 little tin of tuna and a couple of tablespoons of little canned edamame beans. And are they still called edamame if they've been popped out of their pods? I don't know. I know the ones that I get, and then I mix it all up, and then I eat that. Sushi. I love sushi. I want some sushi now. Just finished sushi for lunch as well. Nice. Vampire says, I'm happy I can have a morning cup of tea again, being down with heat exhaustion all week. Not being able to have tea and coffee because of the heat does my head in. Because it is. You just really, you just want a cup of tea, but you also know you just can't. It's too hot. Leftover Chinese for Jennifer. That sounds lovely too. I like that. Barbecue is protein. Add barbecue. Like barbecue what? Narrow that down a little. Angela had a chef salad for dinner. That is awesome. Yeah, so like just to put it out there. Okay, so my diet journey is not what most people's diet journey is, right? So I gained weight because I ate too low a caloric diet for too long. And this is what happens. Your body starts hoarding everything. And so therefore I gained weight. So when I ate something, my body was just like, oh no, store it. We never know when she's going to feed us again. Because I would, like people who've been here a long time, I could wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and then not actually eat anything till 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I started shaking, because I didn't realize I'd skipped meals because I wasn't getting hungry. And so, yeah, it is, it learning how to actually have proper sized meals, and, you've got all the media and everything like going less, you have to eat less, blah, 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 blah. You're fat because you eat too much, la, la, la. It's not always true. It's just not always true. Sometimes you've eaten so much less. We sat down and we did the diary, and I had to take photos of all the food I eat, like anything that passed my lips other than water, for a couple of weeks, and she was horrified. And like if I had chocolate, there was a photo of chocolate. If I had ice cream, I put a photo. I mean, I'm not I'm a human. There's food I like to eat. And she just went, nope, this is all bad. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's the chocolate, isn't it? And she was just like, no, you're not eating enough calories to maintain a comatose patient, let alone somebody who is physically moving in the world. So yes, I was my body was in total starvation mode. It took 4 weeks of eating properly for me to actually start feeling hungry when I woke up, which was like some big warning sign. What's Danny written here? Protein in salads, eggs, chickpeas, sliced chicken, tuna beef, salmon. I had a similar issue with the dietitian. Apparently it's all salad according to my dietitian. I don't know what that means. Like, as in they don't like, as in you've always got to add this stuff and then it's still salad. Because I just think of salad as the vegetable portion. And I love vegetables. So that's, yeah. Yeah. It's very similar. It's very similar. Yeah, and I was in starvation mode. So, and that's exactly it. I've had to build a new relationship with food. If you eat too little, your metabolism slows down considerably and your body starts storing everything for survival. That's exactly what I was doing. So now I'm eating more. When I first started the journey, I was actually feeling sick. Like I would go to the dietitian, like, do I really need to eat it? Can I just cut some of this out? I feel nauseous because of how full I am. And turns out I actually don't like feeling full. So yeah. What do you like on your salad? Pie, Drew Carey. Oh my gosh. I think your dietitian would have issues with my diet. No, Chintami, there's plenty of protein rich non-meat. So I don't think she would. I don't think she would. I just had to, and because I eat meat, so it was easier to add in things. So chicken is a big one for me. And luckily for me, I actually like chicken because I don't like beef and I don't like lamb and I don't eat much pork. And, I like chicken, chicken and tuna. That's about it. Yeah, if there's a mix of cold veg, it's salad, regardless of what else is in there, apparently. Okay. All right. Yeah, absolutely. There's some veggies that have protein for sure. And like I've had to have, I now also changed yogurt because I love yogurt. So she changed me to a different brand, which it tastes different and it has a different texture. So that took me a little bit of adjusting too. I can't remember the brand, but I just get it at Woolies and Coles and it's got 15 grams of protein, no added sugar, and 0 fat, I think. And it's fine. It's a little on the bland side, but it doesn't have any weird, like gritty. I don't like gritty textures. So it doesn't have any of that. So I'm fine with it. And I actually grabbed some of the 20-gram proteins because they have some cool flavors. Like the peach one is amazing. I also don't like strawberry yogurt, but there's a strawberry and watermelon that apparently a lot of people like, but I don't like it because I don't like strawberry yogurt. All right, let's roll the dice. We'll do one more row before, well, it's only 11:30. We might get 2 more rows in. Up, elbows off the table. Yeah, I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are great. I told my doctor I'm on an all plant-based diet. Cows eat grass. Steak is plant-based. Oh my gosh, that's terrible, John. That's terrible. Okay. Yes! We got a 6. Bye-bye, white. Hello, red. I am so happy. Daddy needs a 4. Oh my gosh. I don't think I realized how much I wanted a red one because I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't match anymore, which is exactly right. Shintani says, I buy mushrooms. They tend to dehydrate in the back of my fridge. Look, that happens, but they're still totally fine to use if they've dehydrated. It's just they're not so good to use if they've gone slimy. Yeah. Woohoo! Red row. Oh my gosh. I have a question for those of you that are here, and especially those of you that, put up with me on long-term projects of boringness. Well, they're not boring for me, but they might be for you. Say I was to make an entire blanket, because this is just like a sample. Say I was to make an entire blanket, would doing the live dice roll for it for the random color pops, would that be of interest for you to watch? Would that get old fast? Just pop that in the chat. That would be great. I would love your honest opinions, please, because while I love to make things, I do want to make it fun for you as well. And I know a big part of it is the conversation, so it doesn't actually matter what I'm working on, but I also understand that it might get dull fast. Yeah, Chintami, if you don't like cooking, that does make it harder. One of my favorite things to make, and my dietitian was so chuffed, is I call it my spicy noodles. So I have my spicy soup, which I made for Tim last night, but spicy noodles is something Abby and I make for each other every now and again. And in a pan, chili, Chinese 5-spice, garlic, ginger, and then make up a packet of 2-minute noodles, like 2-minute ramen while that's happening. And then throw into the pan, like whatever veggies you've got, capsicum, zucchini or courgette, carrots, broccoli, corn, like whatever vegetables that need cooking go into the pan. And then I grab a big tablespoon of the liquid from the noodles and throw that in as well. And then make sure those veggies are cooked off, and then toss the noodles in, like drain the noodles and toss them in. Excuse me, and then tip it into a bowl and eat it. Yum, yum, yum. Abby likes to add a little bit of soy sauce to hers. I don't like soy sauce, so I don't add any to mine. I don't mind adding a little of sweet chili sauce though, or a bit of sriracha if I've got some. But yeah, we love doing that. And my dietitian is just like, oh my God, write that recipe down. I want to make that for lunch. I'm like, cool, I can do that. You better find that giant die fest. Yeah, I think that when we do the blanket, I'll definitely I'll dig out the fun die, because they're pretty colors as well. And crochet a D6 that rolls. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I've got an entire pack of die, and it's like of dice, and so I've got like D20 and D5s, D6s. There's something else in there. I can't remember what it is. A D4. There's a D4 in there too. I think I'll have to dig it out. I meant to dig it out last week and then just didn't, like a donkey. I totally forgot, truth be told. Here we go. Watching someone else crochet is meditative. It is rather. I do quite enjoy it myself. Maybe do a multicolor and assign a number to each color. Oh, yes. Yeah. And I do have multicolor multicolors. I have got more cotton there, ready to do a multicolor blanket. But also I will have all my new maker yarn coming in, and that could be another multicolor jobby. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. Maybe it's not a D5. I'll dig it out. I'll have to have a look. There's definitely a D4, there's definitely a D20, and there's definitely a D6. But I know there's also more than 3. So I'll have to have a look. Never the chatting is probably the main draw card. The craft project just gives us a diving board to jump into the conversation from. That's an excellent point as well. Because like the reality is, you guys did watch me work on a queen for 2 years. I felt very guilty about that. It's like, oh, there's nothing new and exciting this week. We're still working on a queen. And that always made me feel a bit guilty. But at the same time, I didn't have to worry about constantly getting new approvals and permissions from designers, because I don't work on a pattern, even free ones, without the designer's express permission. So we had permission from Tina to work on hers. D4, D6, D8, D10. It could be one of those sets, because I bought it as a set. So yeah, I'll dig it out. They were just so cute. I went into a game shop and I was there to buy a ticket to ride, and then they had this display of these gorgeous dice, like cutest dice sets. So I was like, I'll have those. I mean, like the reality is, right, I've got all this acrylic stuff. I could buy myself dice mold and then make myself the cutest acrylic dice out there, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, so maybe not a D5. So 4, 6, 8, 2 D10s, a D12, and a D20. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll have a look. We'll work out some odds based on that. Yeah, and we can work out how many colors I've got and assign each color a number, and then just rotate, like have a main color, like the blue, have a main color, and then all the others will be chosen via a dice roll. Danny says, looking at the ones I just bought my son, there's a D9 as well. I don't know. I'm going to have a look now. I'm going to have to dig them out. I just know it's a little container of them. I don't know if I've got that many, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought I had 5. I could be totally wrong. Might also be a really good excuse to buy more dice. Maybe. Like I need an excuse. Did I count that wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I pulled that over. Make sure that we line our actual stitching up properly and don't end up pushing over and tilting it to cover one. Is Leanne off? Did I miss something? Oh, yep. Got to go. Okay. Sorry, Leanne. I hope you sort out that dog. You don't want them in with your sheep. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I think that's what the suggestion is. So work out how many colors I've got, less the main color, and then choose a die according to that. And then each time I roll the die, that's the color that we get for that row. So that would be fun. That will be a fun one. And they will constantly change it up too. Because I think I've got, with my 4-ply cottons, I've got dark grays. No, it is a gray. Because I got lifting it up, this is quite heavy. My shopping bag full of all my Bendigo 4-ply cottons in all the pretty colors in their cotton crushes that they just brought out. But somewhere in the bottom here is the gray. It's a medium warm gray. So we could either do it with this, which I think there's 5 colors plus the gray, or I have all my yarn coming from Maker. We needs the math rocks, Precious. We needs them. More shiny clinky math rocks to appease the dice goblins. I love you guys so much. Oh, happy mail so soon. Yep. You still haven't tried your chow goose yet? What are you doing? Yeah, there's nothing quite like moving to quality needles, no matter the brand, moving to quality needles and just realizing the difference. Because there's people out there, believe it or not, I know, shocking. There's people out there who don't realize there's a difference, and they're like, just use whatever, get the cheap ones. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. It 100% makes a difference. Buy the best quality you can afford. If you can only afford cheap quality to start with, get cheap quality. But don't go hard. Don't buy all the things. Just buy what you need. Then as you realize you love the craft, buy the next best quality, and on until you found the ones that you're absolutely in love with, which is how I feel about Chowku. And I know plenty of people feel the same way about Addy, and they feel the same way about Knit Pros. There's lots, and also, oh my gosh, I'm picturing the brand, but I cannot think of the brand. There's Super Sharp. Anyway, there is a difference. Oh gosh, Charlie says after using Pony for 11 years, there's a difference. Yeah, absolutely, there's a difference. Having good tools is so important. Yes, I agree. Bianca says it definitely makes a difference. Oh, John's posted his green metal dice. They sound fun. Higher highs. Thank you, Claire. That's them, the higher highs. They're super pointy. They're really good if you're doing lace. I still prefer the chow goose over them personally, but lots of people love the higher high too. Bianca says, I like the pony, but I much prefer my chow goose. Yeah, I definitely go chow goose whenever I can for knitting. I'm not the biggest fan of all the chow goose crochet, but I love their knitting needles. Okay. Let's look at the, yeah, we're good to go. Alrighty, we ready? What's the guess? It's time to roll again. I love the red cables over the blue with the higher. So Claire's a higher fan. Alison is spinning up some yarn to try and make a blanket on my rigid heddle loom using 2 heddles and double weaving. Oh my gosh, that is an effort and a half. I've got the I've got the equipment and functionality to do double weaving. I've never done it. I've never done it. All right, here we go. Come on, chatty chatters. Let's see what we get. So some of you really want another red row by the looks. 5. Fiona had a 5. It's back to white. Oh, that's a little bit too far to reach. I shouldn't have put it all the way over there. But yeah, it's I think that could be really fun. So we'll do the maker, because I've got some maker. I've got her Aaron and Ash coming in all of the colors, and also I've got the mind you, in saying this, when I ordered, I didn't plan for a blanket that would, like, I ordered one of all the other colors, but then 2, because they're 200-gram balls, but then 2 of the main color, because I was just thinking borders, edges. I wasn't thinking alternate, main color custom, like, sort of thing. So yeah. Yeah, it'll definitely a major learning curve for sure, but it would also be super fun to learn. Super fun. Guessed right. Sal guessed right. Who did I say? Oh, and Fiona guessed right. Yeah, there were 2 guesses. Danny says, oh, to rip it or just keep going. Lost the start of a round. Didn't realize the stitch marker fell off. Will it make a difference in the pattern? If not, just keep going and get the marker back in next time you go round. If it makes a difference in the pattern, I'd tinker back. I wouldn't rip it unless you've done like 5 rows or something. But if it's just like half a round or even a full round, I'd tinker back, because my brain would be like, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. I can still see it. Grr. But if your brain's not mean like mine, it's up to you. Bye, Artog. Have fast. Have fun. Have fun. So yeah, Claire mentioned a hydrate earlier. I saw it, didn't do it. Oh, you've already knitted the tail in, so you can't even use that as a reminder that your round's coming up. What I do in that instance, because my stitch, like, I'm looking at my table right now, and over here, just off camera, where all the mess is, my stitch marker has fallen off my needle tips, right? And I'm gonna fix it back up. But I would actually use a clippable marker and just hook it just somewhere in the row where that stitch marker should be, just to remind you as well that it's somewhere in this line. Keep an eye out for it. So just hook it into a stitch you've already done on a previous row. Yeah, Bianca, I'm the same. If I can't unsee it, once I know there's a mistake, I've got to fix it. Now, sometimes it can be a Jimmy fix-up. You don't have to pull back 11,000 rows. You can be like, oh, yeah, this will work, and it doesn't look off. But if I can still see it, I'm out. I've got to fix it. I messed up the Apache Tears pattern on one of my kids' blankets, but I'm not going back. I just corrected the pattern and moved on. Yeah. And if that works for you, then that works for you. And you that's awesome. And I'm so glad that works for you, because that's a huge effort. I've had some mistakes I found in my queen, and I was just like, I'm too far past that now. I can't fix it. But I would, depending on where it was in a row, if it was like an end of a row, I'd rip back 10 ends of rows, fix up the thing, and then fix it back up again. I got a bit ridiculous at one stage there with it. But not if it was more than like 1 or 2 repeats back. I'd just be like, well, I managed to get this far past it. It's fine. Handmade things aren't meant to be perfect. I think we all need to remember that sometimes. Handmade things aren't meant to be perfect. onto the blue. And I actually think this will probably be the last row of this, and then we'll do the edge, because that'll be enough. That's enough for a cup, right? I mean, this is the wrong size cup, but there's plenty of room around the base of that cup. Oh, do you know what? Here we go. There we go. That's probably easier to see. Big cup, little cup. And then with the border on it as well, I'll make it a couple of rounds. That'll be plenty. And I think then our test is over. So I need to pull out the pattern and double check. There's a wives' tale or something that says you should always leave at least one mistake in a handmade item so your soul or spirit doesn't get trapped in it. Wow. I tend to always make mistakes in beanies. So I always end up with the ribbing, like 2 pearls always in the wrong place in the ribbing of a beanie, and I leave that. My brother's taken that to be like how he can tell his friends someone else didn't make that beanie. Yeah, looks big enough for a cup and a small plate. Absolutely. And that's all we really need. We don't need it to be ginormo. It doesn't need to, it's not a placemat. It doesn't need to hold a dinner plate. The test is done. Did you pass? I mean, I can't answer that question. I have no idea. Probs not. I'm really bad at tests. Okay, then here we go. 2, get out of the way, little tail. And 3 and 4. Am I lined up properly? Yes. Okay. Lined up properly. Test is done. Yeah. So then I just need to double check Claire's pattern. Make sure that she I can't count. Make sure that she doesn't do anything like an additional row of trebles or something across the top, which she may well do. And then go from there. And start. Oh, I totally split that yarn. Did you see that? Just split the life out of it. Apparently, found another mistake I couldn't fix, so you've ripped it. Fair enough. If you can't fix it on the fly, sometimes you've got to tinker back. Red, white, and blue is very patriotic. Well, yeah. Even Australia's flag has red, white, and blue. So, yeah. Yeah, Knit Spin Girls. Yeah, I think that's where I've heard it as well, something along those lines. I don't know exactly which native group, but it's definitely, I've heard it somewhere. It definitely rings true. There we go. Back in time for the end game, Widows. Good to see you jumping back in. Did your school transfer or just straight up early school home? I was chatting with a friend yesterday who I haven't spoke to for a little while, and I was talking about how, a bit out of the loop I am now that I'm not doing school runs anymore. And she was like, oh, did Abby get a license? And I'm like, yeah, but she also finished school. And my friend was just like, wait, when did that happen? like she finished grade 12 last year. She's just like, oh my God, no way. Not little Abby, because she's known Abby since Abby was like 4. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Early finish. Okay. Oh, I'm tangled. Let go. Get out of the way, tails. So many tails, all trying to get involved in stitches that have no business they were involved in. Back it up. Alrighty, we are at the end of this row. I have to dig out. Oh, what have I done there? Oh, look at that. I stitched over the front of the loop. I'm going to have to undo that one. Back loop only, you idiot. Back. There's so many tails and things in the way. It's hard to see. Okay, here we go. Look, it's just like, let me join in. I want to be part of the stitch too. No. Okay, now, did I just make the same mistake again? Nope, I fixed it. Good, good, good. Yay! Oh, if she was really your friend, she'd be up to date by watching your lives, just saying, look, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, no. I know she's super busy. It's all good. I'm one of these people that, like, if I don't see friends for a couple of years, it's like whatever, and then we like just start chatting like it hasn't been a couple of years. So yeah, I'm one of those people, and I'm terrible at ringing people all the time. It's not what I do. It's not what I do. Let's go back. So yeah, so there's my little mug rug. Got to check out the pattern, double check if we need to do anything else to finish off that row, then do our single crochets in. Claire's pattern recommends that we jump over and use Tina's design for doing the enclosed borders. Enclosed, yeah, border, that's the right word. So I don't know if we'll work on this next week, because it might get done. It might already be finished. And everyone, we all crossing our fingers next week for the yarn order to arrive. How amazing would that be? Oh, Claire's in the chat. Hey, Claire, because I don't have the pattern open, do I need to do anything else on this row before I start doing the border? Just out of curiosity, if anyone who has recently done it could also answer this question. Because I'm going to be really honest, my file management on the Mac is a mess and I don't know how to fix it. I'm so used to Windows file management that I'm used to having folders at the top and then everything else is alphabetical. Whereas on the Mac, everything is all strictly alphabetical. So there could be folders all over the place and I don't like it and I've got to fix it. So I don't even know where I've saved the pattern. I've got to find it. Claire can't remember. Claire's like, Kathy, do you remember? I think Kathy's had to go. Oh my gosh. Sally accidentally shut the browser down. No. If you make a few, you have spares when it's in the wash. I mean, that's an excellent point, because I've got a feeling I am going to get a lot of use out of this. And I like the idea that we can test blanket ideas by doing this, and then I've got extra spares too. Kathy, Claire would like to know if you can help me, because she can't remember her own design. But do I need to do an extra row of anything before I start putting the border on? Because I got to dig the pattern out of this system somehow. Oh, hang on. Did I put it on my iPad? Maybe I put it on my iPad. That would have been smart. Probably too smart for me, because I was doing it all on the desktop. I've done none of it in the lounge room. So maybe not. It's not here. It's your tension test. Yeah. Oh, I was testing to see how the colors all look together and stuff. That's all right. I'll find the pattern and I will dig it out. I will dig out the pattern and I will make sure I do it right, because I want my tension test, my little mug rug, that's going to sit on the arm of my chair to be right. Okay, my friendly friends. That is, from what I remembered, you are good. Okay, Kathy, that is awesome. Okay. Excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'll double check. I'll check the pattern. And this is the thing I loved about this. is once you got into the swing of it, I didn't need to have the pattern in front of me anymore. And I actually don't think the back is terrible. And if we did like lots of multicolors, that would actually even look more awesome, I think. So yeah, that's looking cute. I think it's looking cute. So next week, fingers crossed, we have a yarn order coming in and we can do a debagging, and I can tell you how much I like it and squish it on my face like Claire did, because I need to squish it on my face too. And I will, if it comes in earlier, do you know how hard it's going to be for me to hold off? But I promise I will hold off. All I will do is remove my address from the front. So yeah, that is it. All right, you guys, I will catch you all next week. Have awesome nights and days, rest of your weeks, all that kind of jam. And I will see you next time.